get this show going. How are we doing? Doing good. A little bit about me. I'm 5'7". It's a good height. Alright. Used to be pretty insecure about my height, and then I realized that if I just work out every day, someday I could look even shorter. So that moved back in with my mom recently. You ever moved back in with your mom? Did you guys know? Nice. Did you guys know if you move back in with your mom, you regain your virginity? Did you know that? That's what happens. I used to live in a beautiful neighborhood. I used to live on my own in a neighborhood called the Tenderloin. Great place. Those are my options at this age. I remember one time I was walking home at night in the Tenderloin. I saw a prostitute. She was like, "Do you want any company?" I said, "Yes, I'm very scared." Share a room with my dad now. That's how his marriage is going. Share a room with my dad. One time I was looking through his stuff, I found a bottle of anal lube that belongs to my dad. You ever find your dad's anal lube? It's a tough day. Most of you probably don't know how many times your mom's had anal sex, right? Most of you live with your parents. How many times do you think your mother's had anal sex?
Not more than me.
Not more than you. It's not something you want to know. I know it's happened to my mom at least half a bottle worth of times. How did I know it was anal lube? That's what you're wondering. It's because right above where it said lube on the bottle, my dad wrote anal with a Sharpie. So that's how I knew. Love living with my parents. The one thing that sucks is they are getting older, you know? My mom had a stroke recently. My mom, she had a stroke in the middle of the night. She woke up, welcome. We came at a good time. Anyway, back to my mom having a stroke. Mom had a stroke in the middle of the night. Luckily, my dad woke up just in time. He called an ambulance. He saved her life. Pretty amazing, right? I thought it was amazing because my mom always used to say that my dad was a very deep sleeper. Now I don't think she can say that because she lost the ability to say anything. I asked my mom if that joke was funny, and she nodded. So maybe you'd like it. I got into a breakup recently. Broke up. The lady. You ever think about how we're the only animal that does that? The only animal that has breakups. Yeah, I just thought about that. Like, if you're a horse, I think you just stand somewhere else in the field. Every horse relationship ends the same way. It's just one horse who's like, I wonder what they're doing over there. And then he's like, ugh. I was a shitty boyfriend. I'm not very good at that. What I struggle with is I feel like girlfriends ask tough questions. They ask tough, you know what I mean? They ask tough, yeah, you get it. She rolled her eyes. They do though. I had a girlfriend and she asked me one time, she goes, "Jason, can you name one thing that you love about me?" If you've been asked that question before by your girlfriend, you know that's a deceptively difficult question. Because you can feel like you have a good answer. You know, like I said this, I thought this was a good answer. I said, "Well, I love your sense of humor." She said, "Name one time I've made you laugh." What? Name one time I've made you laugh. I was like, wow. It's not fair. It's not fair, guys. Because as a boyfriend, I feel like I ask very simple questions. You know, like I ask questions like, "Did you come?" That's not. That's an easy question. That's an easy question because no matter what the answer is, it doesn't matter. I still need a ride home now. That's true. I didn't have a car for a while. You ever not have a car? That fucking sucks, dude. You gotta ride your bike everywhere. You ever see a guy on a bike? There's two kinds of guys you see on a bike. There's guys that fucking love riding their bike, and there's guys that would fucking love to have a car. And you can tell who's who, like at a glance. You know, like it was pretty clear with me. I was wearing, dirty jeans. It was a girl's bike with tassels. My fucking Starbucks barista apron is flapping in the wind. I look like the Greek god of poverty. I remember one time I was at a bar, I rode my bike to a bar, and I hit it off with a lady, it felt good. Hit it off with a lady at a bar, and it was going so well that I forgot I didn't have a car. Offered her a ride home. Walk yourself through that. What do you do now, right? Offered her a ride home. We get to the parking lot. She's like, "Which one's yours?" I'm like, "It's that one type of the tree." You ever watch a woman's attraction to you just dissipate? This was her exact words. And keep in mind, it's a girl's bike. She went, "This is not even a cool bike." She was so disappointed. God, man. I read online that women like it when you make noises during sex. Have you ever heard that? You're supposed to make noises. That was news to me. I read online you're supposed to make noises during sex, but the article I was reading, it didn't say what noises you're supposed to make. Turns out you can't just go in there like... It's not a good sex noise. Here's the worst noise you can make during sex. It's "I love you." No one likes that. Okay. I thought that would be funny. You guys had success with that line? I don't know. I like women in their early 20s. Anyone else? I like young women in their early 20s. That's what I like. I don't know what it is about them. I think it's that I'm also in my early 20s. I think that's a big part of it. Here's what I don't get. Why is it cool for me to date those women, but it's wrong when Leonardo DiCaprio does it? Does that make sense to you? I don't get that at all. Because, here's the thing, right? What people say is "Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio, he's taking advantage of those women." And it's okay, well, what am I doing then? Let's be real. Who's taking advantage of women in their early 20s more? Could it be Leonardo DiCaprio with his own private jet flying them around the world? Or maybe it's me borrowing her car? What are we talking about? Went on a first date recently. I went on a first date, and I've been having this problem on first dates where I lie. Does anyone else have that problem? You lie. You ever tell a lie so outrageous on a first date that it's over now? It's just, you'll never see her again. This is what I did. You ever have to poop on a first date? That's not a good feeling when you have to poop on a first date. And I'll give you some context. I'm one of these guys where I've never had a non-emergency poop. And I've never had one that wasn't 20 minutes plus. And this date was going great. And then I had that feeling in my stomach. And I think what it is I think I'm lactose intolerant. You know, but I can't switch to oat milk because I'm not gay. That's what it is. Ironically, my asshole looks like a used up Twinks. It's really because of all the dairy. That's a rough line. But yeah, I've got that feeling. And as if things couldn't get worse, the men's bathroom at this particular venue, only urinals in there. When did that become okay? Men's bathroom, only urinals. I said, fuck it, I'm gonna use the women's bathroom. That's what I did. I was in the women's bathroom. I was looking at my watch the whole time. I was like, it's been 10 minutes, she knows. And, you know, finally I'm finished. And I'm like, it's not too bad. Like, it's fine. I'll just go back to the table, it's fine. I get out the door. Who's waiting in line to use the women's bathroom? It's my date. And she looks confused. I've been gone for a while. I've been in the women's bathroom. She goes, what were you doing in the women's bathroom? And I thought about telling her about it, you know. I have to poop, there's only urinals, you know. It's too embarrassing, so I lied. She's like, what are you doing in the women's bathroom? I said, well, I'm a woman. And then I spent the rest of the night telling her about my journey. Also, side note, I should let you know, someone took a huge shit in there, so. All right, anyway, I've been Jason Cruz, thank you very much.